That's really cool that you have consider yourself an emergent farmer now and have just seen that whole environmental justice take over. I think I definitely came into that myself through horticulture. I've spent the past 2 years doing hydroponic research on carrots in a static hydroponic system, which is less electricity, less input. So it was geared towards urban demographics where land resources and water is limited. And through that work, I definitely came into food sovereignty, environmental justice, seeing how inequities lie in land resource acquisition. And I think from that work, I began to see a little bit of a tension, whether it be around identity or equity. It was more of a, do we focus on urban distribution or should we focus on bigger climate disruption backgrounds? There seems to be like this competition between priorities, and I'm really interested to see how you find that balance. What do you prioritize and how's that changed over time? And now you're talking about suing the city. Where do you find the time to balance all of that?
Oh,
And I think we're going to win. It's a good
I
news.
hope.
balance is a good word. I think it's a privileged word when you're working this hard because we believe in what we're doing and we're this passionate. You just do the work, right? And if you find some spare time, great. I really think balance requires a certain amount of privileged leisure. And if you're this committed to a cause, you find balance in the activity. You find it in the fun that you're having with people doing the same thing, right? So if we can't laugh, or I guess as we say, dance in this revolution, we shouldn't be doing it. So I don't know, balance to me, people think probably my life is unbalanced, but I'm very balanced because I go out there and I'm in the flow, and that's where the balance is for me.
Well, I'll just say for myself, I think, having been serving in the legislature during that time, I needed to spend time within that structure. And I got to be pretty good at it. But the part of it I enjoyed the most was opening up the doors inside that structure so that others that I represented could come in. I saw myself as a bridge often. That gave me the greatest joy. Like, you can come here and have some power. Come on, walk over through this open door. Not that it was easy. Many of the battles we fought were extremely hard, very difficult. Oh man, I'll just say, some legislation that my district that I represented needed took 20 years to pass. Some took 1 or 2 years. So there's all those times in between. And I learned a lot about the process and how to open it up and give some of the power and help promote some of the power for the people that I was representing. But it wasn't easy. And I left things undone. Some things that I can still work on out here with the Women's Environmental Institute and in my neighborhood in East Phillips. I see myself now and always have, but more so now, part of a movement of people. So it's not anything I'm doing by myself, but my role in that movement has changed. I hold some keys that I can share with people a little more freely, but they're still very much based in a community-based or community-led kind of effort. And that is fun. Many times it's challenging. Sometimes it's painful. I mean, it's all of those things happen. You're probably finding that already yourself in what you're doing as well, right?
I think so. It's been a lot of boundary setting the past year, moving virtually, feeling like you have a bit more time since you're not bound by geographic barriers. So yes, definitely learning how to take on different roles within a movement, whether it be pipeline resistance, which is a global effort, or whether it's local food sovereignty, which I'm part of, and just finding the connections and bridges, like you mentioned, between national chapters and local, and balancing your roles within each of that without burning yourself out, because that's something I think about a lot as someone who's only in their early 20s. How do I make it sustainable, not just for the movement, how to decentralize movements from people, because people come and go, how to find your strengths and apply your energy without feeling the immense burden of so much going on around you. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot too. And just this past year with the rise and increase in violence towards certain communities, whether it be AAPI or the queer community, which I am both a part of. So just thinking about how do we use identity as some way to open up doors and bring people in, because that is a very great common ground in which to connect with people. But I also think about at what point does it become alienating, and where does it turn people off? How do you not shut people out of your movement because they don't identify with a certain thing or don't click with your narrative? But I think I personally believe that a cultural narrative is yet to emerge that is nuanced and perhaps scientifically accurate to galvanize mass action. But also, I think the common statistic thrown around is you only need 2% of the population to actually change something, right? So